Coach, you had an open week last week. What was the priority for your team during this open week?
Well, the priority was a couple things. First being trying to make sure we were taking the things that we haven't done very well from an execution standpoint and trying to get better at those, trying to do a better job of finishing on plays to give us a little bit better chance to have a high rate of trying to be able to create some explosive plays on offense and trying to be able to minimize those things on defense. So I think we were able to take the week and really kind of do a good job explaining where we're at as a football team and where we're planning on getting, and then trying to make sure we were taking the right mindset and how we prepare for our next opponent with Indiana.
And, Coach, as you prepared for that game, what stood out to you about the Hoosiers on film in the preparation?
Well, I think the first thing that you see is, particularly when you watch the Ohio State game, the tempo that they're playing at offensively, and really, having two really good quarterbacks, probably two of the best receivers in the country on the outsides with their ex receiver. I think you see an offensive line that is really, really physical up front and really good at what they do. Defensively, two of the better linebackers that we've seen. A very solid defensive line, and a secondary that's really never out of position. I think that Tom Allen has done a really good job across the board there, but obviously being able to see his defense in their second year of being kind of up under his tree or his family, you see how well they're playing, and obviously a team that's played two good opponents so far with Ohio State and Virginia, and are 1-1 right now. But the one of the things that certainly stands out to me is the two quarterback situation, and having two good quarterbacks that are both can do a number of things, but both are really good at what they try to do.
Coach, what in your mind is the key to offensively moving the ball against Indiana on Saturday?
Well, I think the first thing becomes the accountability that comes with the execution. I think anybody will tell you when it comes to offense that execution is a critical part of it. Obviously, we're 2 weeks in, with Coach Cook and our new offensive coaches that have come in and kind of installed a new system. And so I think that we've got to do a better job in overall execution. And I certainly think that we've got to be able to do some things that give our quarterbacks an opportunity to kind of minimize their room for their margin of error, and trying to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a bad position. Getting behind the chains is a really poor thing for us. When we get ourselves put in negative plays, it becomes a lot harder for us to be efficient on offense.
Coach, you mentioned before about Indiana playing two quarterbacks. Defensively, what kind of challenges does that pose to you in preparation and also in-game adjustments?
Well, obviously they both pose different threats. Obviously, Legal is a guy that can throw it. I mean, if you watch the games that he's been able to play, in particular if you watch the first half of Ohio State where he's playing as well as anybody really, and having the two receivers on the outside that are so good with Cobbs and with Hale, those guys pose a real threat for you at any point in time, because you feel like that they can make a great play. I certainly think that whenever you get into talking about Peyton Ramsey, he's multidimensional, and they're still able to run their offense the same way they do when Legal was in the game, but they're also a little bit more of a dynamic threat with his ability to run the ball and be a dual threat guy. And you're talking about big guys. Legal is a 6'6", 240 pounds. Ramsey's a 6'2", 210, 215-pound guy. And so the ability for the quarterback to run the ball when Ramsey's in the game, as well as being able to throw it, makes it really difficult. And obviously Legal being able to thread the needle and being able to give the opportunity for big plays between the two receivers and the tight end are what make you nervous.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time this morning. We appreciate it, as always.
Okay, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great week.
All right, you as well. Thank you.